World where value is measured from the outside, we have forgotten the profound wealth that lives within. For too long, the pressure of survival has created a distance between us, leaving the most vulnerable to struggle in silence. But wealth is not found in scarcity or control. True value begins with the human spirit and the knowledge we share. Imagine a moment where every new life is recognized, not as a burden, but as the initial capital of our future peace. At the first breath, a child receives recognition, a foundation for food, medicine, and dignity. No one is left behind. From every corner of the earth, the same recognition is granted. Equality is no longer a dream, it is the protocol. Behind this vision lies a secure, decentralized infrastructure, a blockchain built for service, not speculation. This network is the pulse of a new humanity, low energy, transparent, and grounded in collective responsibility. When basic needs are met, the mind becomes free, education replaces survival, and knowledge creates the path to peace. Through participation and service, we express our true value. We are no longer competitors, we are contributors. Our technology now serves life. The scars of the old world are healed by the wisdom of the new. We are one people, on one planet, moving toward one destiny. The shadows of the past have finally given way to the light. When we stop fighting ourselves, we begin to search the universe. Peace is the foundation. The stars are our destination. Our journey into the deep mysteries of existence has only just begun. We turn toward the stars with open hearts. Value begins with the human, grows through knowledge, and evolves toward an eternal peace.
Good morning, good day to you as usual, wherever and whenever. You listen to this series of knowledge from Keshe Foundation Spiritual Institute. As usual, we are back here and we try to understand more the riddle of the creation beyond this planet and how we are what we call umbilical corded to the universe with our senses, with our physicality, but we think the physicality is the controller and ruler. In the past few weeks, we dug in more deeper into understanding the cosmic rays and their work and the way we receive energies from the universe. Today, I take you to a new dimension. This is something most of you never think about, and as far as you're concerned, you only get involved in it when you get a little bit older and you cannot see and you go to the shop. Can I have the first glass which I need to wear to be able to see? And then it becomes part of your life, not to forget it, not to leave it on the shelf. And then it becomes worse and worse, and what we call the sight of the man. The eye is not just for seeing. The eye is one of the most important connections of man, direct passage through the universe, receiving cosmic rays information. Many, many creatures in the universe have eyes, have a process of vision, and many have created dimension of cosmic rays that they don't need the eye, but they can feel the dimensions millions of kilometers. But it's proven that the vision has certain advantages, and the human race body has fallen into the trap of what we call eye to see, but not eye to actually absorb, feed, control. It's one of the senses we talk about a lot. We open our eyes. If we don't see, the day doesn't start. And if we are blind, we rely on those who see to tell us what it is. But in the universe, and man traveling the space of universe has to learn how to use the cosmic colors, cosmic rays. What do they mean? The way you understand on this planet. We made red danger, green to be green and grass, and every other color. We have to understand basically how the color of our eyes has come to be what we are. Why we blue eyes? Why we hazel eyes? Why we green eyes? Why do we have a brown eyes? What's the black color comes from? And then if we understand this revolution, we can then understand the next step, how this is connected to the absorption of the universal energies, and how it's connected. Our eye socket is not just for our eye. Why do you see dreams? Why do you have dreams that is photographic? Why your dream is not just sound? Why your dream is not just taste? Why your dream is not just touch? Why do we remember pictures? So we understand our eye socket is a whole, it's the only common ground, the only common path where our what we call dimension of physicality and the dimension of connection to the universe used as one. This is why we remember the dreams, because the soul sends its information to that part which hasn't got the calcium, which is the skull of the man. But we have to understand how the evolution of the color of the eye has brought maturity to the man. What does allow the body to absorb from universal energies that matches to the color of the eye? For this, we have to understand first, what is our eye color? Why are we brown? Why are we blue? Why do we have a green eyes? And how this allows maturity of certain way absorptions from universal cosmic energies that affects our emotion, affects our way of thinking. Originally, the eye of the man was black, from the impregnation of what we call the eye. When the man moved, you have to understand the black eye, black color eye center is connected to two things. And then we never consider the emotion, which is the third thing to connect to it, which that emotion controls the soul of the man. Black eye needs started where there is a green, there is a lush green, high temperature, and the surrounding that could allow the seed of the man to grow in. That environment has the impregnation that can see the environment that is in monotonous, deep, high trees, high what we call temperatures of what we call mono temperature, more or less, on the Central East Africa, plains in South America, plains in Australia, where there was not much traveling. You stayed in the environment you are, monocoloring. When the human race crossed across the Strait of Hormuz into the central part, southern Iran, where we crossed for the first time out of Africa, and then the other tribe, which came down every 200 or 300 years down the river from Central Africa into what we call the Egypt of today, two ways were invaded out of Africa, human race coming out. This is this cycle of generation of the man. In the other cycles of generation of the life, which goes back maybe 500,000 years before, it was opposite. Life was based in northern hemisphere. In the rotation of the earth conversion, gradually everything is, that's why we see sometimes places that say it's been hundreds of meters below the sea level millions of years ago. When there was a below surface, life was different. Different creatures were brought out. Or life of the man, the way we look, brings us to that point. When the man crossed for the first time Africa into the Asian continent through the Strait of Hormuz. This is why Strait of Hormuz is so beautifully connected to the life of man, and we see what they're making of it today. Man came to the different savanna, came to a different condition. Green lushes of the south of Iran with the desert land. This process started when they crossed, the man crossed from Africa into the southern Saudi, what we call land. But they stuck to the sea, they were there all the time, nothing changed. Once they came into Iranian Sahara and into the Iranian forest section in the south of Iran, then became a problem seeing during the day and night. This became a problem to adjust to the desert and the green. So to do that, the eye cover changed into brown, that we can see more. And this was the biggest change in the evolution of the man, in the development of the soul of the man to absorb energy he likes. He had diversity. It's like if you look at the animals, the dog, the cat, the snake, they don't move that much up and down. Man goes from flat, horizontal to vertical. And this change of 90 degrees back and forth bring different fields that body creates, absorbs from the inertia and the field of the earth and the universal energies. And this brought the maturity of life, maturity of intelligence. Then you understand, when we crossed into the Uranian part, what we call the old Persia, millions of years ago, hundreds of thousands of years ago, the evolution started. Then, a few thousand years ago, when we actually start living, due to change between this combination of the light, man changed to brown. Then, when as human race expanded into the left, which is the forest, what we call the green continent, the Europe, things changed. Man did not need it to cover the heat, which was created by the material of the eye. He needed to see a combination of the different green on the savanna of the Europe. Accidentally, nobody knows up to now, one person changed the color of eye to blue, that it brought for it to be able to live in a constant green area, but not in the forest. They moved between the forest and the green, because at that time man became cultured in agriculture. They brought the trees down, they could cultivate. So they were not living in bushes all the time. So at this moment, one person changed blue. And all those human rays which have a blue eyes come from that one single person. It gave visuality of being able to live in two dimensions of the forest and what we call the agricultural open land. At the same time, the group of the men which used like into what we call the Black Forest in Germany, highly dense area, and they never actually saw the open lands, but they were living in the shades of the sun and dark. Sun and dark, when the light came through the trees, they developed to be able to see more clearly the green eye. We know this historically, scientifically. Then this group absorb different energy. We see them with different mentality. We see them with different absorption of universal cosmic rays absorption, because it's interfered with partially by the trees. They do not get the pure, what we call rays. all the rays, in majority of cases, have element of interaction with the inertia and the field of the trees. The vertical people had a direct effect on their color change to green. We saw Northern Europeans moving further up Denmark and that side of the Norway. And we start seeing these people didn't see the forest, they saw the sea, the oceans, mainly gray, darker with the clouds and the sea. They always looked outside, they were what we could see. And this created the gray colored eyes. Gray colored eyes, which is about 2% of the world population, which is very near to blue, came because of the environment. Then we see the hazel eyes. The hazel eyes were the ones which start moving between the desert, drylands, and greenlands. We see this hazel eye a lot in the background of some of the people who moved as what we call travelers, changed in past 1,000, 1,500 years ago into going from, let's say, Palestine to northern China. This start creating a hazel eye because we have a combination of blue and yellow. And this allows us to work both in the deep green and allows us to work in the deep dry. When we go in the desert, we need different eyes. Even today, we buy double glasses. And we see how they change eye. Then we have a golden eye people, which is very honey. These are mono-energetic system. The percentage of the world population is, these are who stayed stable in their condition in savanna with nothing. But what we see, each color change brings different emotions, different behaviors. You see the placid Norwegians, Denmark. We see the aggression and what we call killing in Middle East, which is part of the nature he has brought in, continuously fighting to survive the desert, fighting to be alive. Then we see the behavior of the Europeans, and we see the behavior of the Chinese. So the color of our eye, which view was just the color, is the creator of our emotion, is creator of our behavior, is creator of how we react, is the behavior of what we absorb from the universe. And the skin of the eye is protection of the man's side from the physical dimension of the earth. It does not stop the absorption of the rays of the universe. So next time, when you dream, understand that you have gone through the skin of the body of the man, through into dimension of universe. Your dreams are the extension of your soul. Your vision side is the extension of your physicality. When you close the eyelashes, when you close your eyes, as you call it, you detach yourself from what we call the physical body of the interaction of the man with his surrounding. But the dream doesn't stop. This is why we remember it. The information goes is the limitation of the eyelashes and what we call skin of the cover does not stop the waves, the plasma technology of the universe, the cosmic rays to be blocked. The only thing which changes it is what we call the skin which we created on the outer layer of our eye, which dictates the color of our eye, dictates in what bandwidth of the energy we absorb, which we feed our soul with. Your eye is the feeder of your soul without interference directly to the Creator. The problem for humanity starts that we are used to the colors of the what we call our planet, our physical dimension. Now that we're becoming the passengers of the universe, the colors of the universe are slightly different. And sometimes colors we've never seen. But we just take a spectrum of it which makes to the color that we see. You have, as knowledge seekers, brought up to see colors which they don't exist. But to you has become normal. When you show this color for the first time to color specialists, some of it don't exist. I've taken some of the ganses to some of the people, they can give me a color, say this color we cannot produce, doesn't exist. These are mixtures of the universal colors and what we call in the spectrum of the observation of the man. Go to book 3 where I show a tube of different ganses. I say these are the ganses, you see different colors separated, but these colors we are not used to. As knowledge seekers you have accepted it. Put a CO2 and Zn next to each other. You see the difference between the color. Zn is pure, it's white, snowish. CO2 is creamish white. There used to be a university in London or in England that you could get the degree and a PhD in 1,000 colors of white. You could actually have a degree. There are scientists, there are doctors who have degree on a shades of white. You can go to university and get a degree for it. But even if you take all these 1,000 shades of white, they are not the colors of the universe. Man, in a coming time, as we are introducing more and more GANs technology to you, as you're learning more about cosmic rays, you start seeing colors that the others don't see, which are not used to the technology. Because in the universal community, you don't have the eyes to see. You absorb the way you dream. You see people in front of you through the fields. So nothing to see but your eye, but your soul says there is an individual here. There is a living thing in front of you. Eyes cannot see. But the soul of the man sees the cosmic rays it produces. Is it danger? Is it a friend? Is it telling me something? Am I seeing something or am I feeling something? I'm going to go through something I don't see, but it's hard rock. For this reason, in a coming time, we release part of the Obeso set of the what we call headsets, for man to start seeing the colors of the universe. Many of you will lose your lives if you do not understand what color combination of the universe means. Colors you've never seen before. On planet Earth, you're used to the combination of basic colors and what percentage you mix them. In the universe, you have to learn about the cosmic rays mixture, how they interact. The colors are not what a man is used to. But at the same time, these colors, what you see as energy, affects the field energy of the soul of the man. Then, if you learn to tune the sight, the fields of the emotion, which comes from the sight, with the field which you absorb to feed the physicality, with the soul of the man, you create a new emotion which is unknown to man at this moment of time. Go back to the teaching. Some times ago, I said there are emotions which man is not aware of. In a way, you develop a sight like a blind man. You have no eye to see, but you feel the presence of. You know the street is there, there is a car running. This car is a cosmic rays, is another body which you're blind. You enter the universal community blind totally if you do not see through the eye of the soul. This comes where the sight of the man and the soul of the man work together very closely, because eye sees the physical, soul sees the energy packs. dimension of the fields which he absorbs, a spectrum which is blind to the physical dimension, and warns through emotion the man not to move. There is something in front of you. You don't see it with your eyes. I feel it. Trusting each other. Collaboration between the two. The races in the universe who have learned to do this have become unique. Man, with the beauty of the eyesight, will learn this. You have no choice. This is part of becoming part of universal, what we call community. You have to learn about the rules of the universe. You have to learn about how to judge, to understand. Nowadays you say, I felt something is going to be wrong, and it was there, it was wrong. This is your soul behaving the way it'll behave in the space. I don't feel good. I don't feel to go into this car. And then the car crashes. I didn't feel to go. I knew that this is going to happen to you. Now you become a passenger of the universe, because the eye has seen it. Through the fields of the universe, understanding the motion of it. How many times you've seen an animal, for example, a dog, poses what we call on their back, and something happens in the space they were. The animals rely on that, because their eyesight is not what we see. They see monocolors, so they work with their soul. We see with what we call vertical people, how they arrange this with their physicality and the soul, that in the harshest storms they can stick to the ground. Let's move together. And we say, oh, the wind came and this didn't. We have to learn and then rely on each other. The blue Alakai sees certain fields that the black one doesn't see in the dimension of the physicality, but at the same time absorbs certain fields through that barrier of the skin which is set on the eye, to be able to absorb that the emotion created by it can help the blue eye. In the universe, the cover of our eye changes in a shape and dimension that sees the full spectrum through the soul of the man, not to the dimension of physicality of the eye of the man. Next time when you look at your eye in the mirror, say, what do I absorb from the universe? Next time when you get up and you dream, you said, I had a dream, you understand now is where the soul sees the dimension of the universe. It's the only whole, in a way, which the body of the man, the soul of the man, can travel out on its own without interaction, without any calcium interactions. Then next time when you wake up and you said, I had a dream, say, my soul traveled and I've seen the universe. This is why, as humans, there's always problem in understanding that what I call the schizophrenic life of the man. You're never asleep. The brain of the man works 24 hours a day, and our stupid scientists, we only use 5%, and the idiot like Einstein has used more than everybody else. Actually, he didn't use any of his brain, because the mouth talks faster than the brain. Then you understand the other 80% of your brain is not for your work in this planet, or physical dimension, is used for the natural information and energies that the soul of the man stores for his operation and connection with the physical dimension. In a way, your brain is used by the soul of the man as a what we call transformer, stepping down energies, converting it into messages that your physicality can feel, can understand. When you become man of a space, doesn't need to do that. The brain of the man become part of the inside of the man, and then the soul moves in, and then you understand that you will comprehend different things, because now the pure energy in the dilution of the fields of the universe interacts with the soul of the man, and decisions are made on that way. You feel a new dimensions. You feel that your arm and legs is not what I'm used to. And then you understand what's happening to you. Why you would call it in a world of humans, my soul is elevated. I get access to more. Then you understand how you've gone through the evolution of the shedding the old skin. And the newer skin, like a snake, becomes the dimension of your knowledge. And you have to go through that step, that you gradually understand more and more and store more energies of the life. It's a physical transmutation in elevation of the soul. It's not something just for somebody. You touch, your fingers are new to you. You touch this, I don't know this feeling. And then, because the soul has elevated, the physicality has to follow and say, okay, from now on, this is what it is. I've been through this process physically 2 or 3 times. And the elevation of the soul changes. You wake up, my hands are not mine. I knew this, I know the feeling. But then you find out the knowledge, the emotion has changed. Detachments become more, because, you know, if I can lose this, so what is worth attaching myself to it? But any of you go through this evolution of the soul, through the dimension of the vision side of the man, that allows you to see the knowledge of the universe, you feel this. I know this emotion, I've been through it. It takes 2 or 3 days to get used to the new skin, but you see the knowledge changes. You see more and more. The 3rd time when it happens, the whole knowledge of the universe is open to you. Servitude is the sort of the basis of that point to reach to it. Detachment. Because if I cannot be attached to this physicality, what is the worth to be attached to the wealth of this body? This is how, when it happened to me the first time, I could not understand what is it. I was like a crazy man for days. I know the feeling is there, but my eyes were seeing different things. I have no connection to these hands. I have no connection to these legs. I have no connection to this life I live. When it happened to me at the age of 39, 40, the wealth of the world had no meaning. But it was a tool to be able to teach the others how to become part of the universal knowledge. How to structure it that others can understand. Your sight, your eye, the colors you absorb from the universe through cosmic rays is your future. This is when you die, you leave it behind, because you didn't learn how to see through the eye of the man, through the dimension of the world of creation. Then you understand how important your eyes are. Doesn't matter if you're blind. Doesn't matter if you're aged. Doesn't matter if you got cataract. You still dream. You still travel through the barriers which is made by collagens of your body on the front of your, what we call the hole into the universe. Your eye is not just to see what is around your physical world. Your eye is an opening to the dimension of the sight of the universe. This is why you dream and you say, I had a dream. Do you see dream through the back of your head? Do you have eye in the back of your head to see where you're going? No, because the structure is that way to see. And we see this with most of the creatures of the world, universe, which have that dimension of attachment to physicality. And many, many, many what we call tribes and races in the universe give their life to have that what we call physical vision. Next time you wake up, as I said before, don't say I had a dream. I traveled. Because what happens to you when you're traveling in the dimension of your fields, energies, connection to the cosmic rays of the universe, and then suddenly somebody wakes you up in the dimension of physicality, you're telling to the others, I have to go, there's a problem, he's waking up, I have to go and look after him. Babysitting the physicality of the man. That's what happens on the other side. You never being present to hear about what your soul says about your physicality. The guy yesterday went and did this wrong, what shall we do? The souls decide, okay, we set him up to pay back. The day of judgment is done by your soul and not by you. Now you understand how your vision is your not only channel to see your physical surrounding, is the channel which connects you directly without interference with your connection of life in the universe. Next time when you dream, it's not a dream. It's me traveling, it's me seeing. And if you see the travels and dimensions of the universe, it means you become part of universal community. If you travel and see the grandma and grandpa and change them, conversation with them, you still have the connection to the what we call the planet Earth, because the anchor of physicality is left under the blankets. There was a mother who used to go to sleep, but she was always afraid of losing her children. She used to tie a rope to her ankle and one to the ankle of the child. And the children slept around her, all tied up with a rope to the mother, that they don't fall off the roof, they don't fall off the bed, they don't go somewhere while she was resting. And this is man, it's the human race. We keep the physicality with the ankle on the rope, that we can go and play, but we know we are locked into that point, to the leg of the mother, which is the earth. When we grow up and mature, we take that rope off, and that's where our soul goes. Now you have to understand that in part of the teaching, how important your sight is, and how your sight gives you the knowledge of the universe while your physicality is there repairing. You're literally like a man with a car going to the garage, leaves the car in the garage for repair, and man goes for a coffee. The car doesn't need to go as it sits in the garage. But you've learned to get this car into the garage every day, and the driver goes for a coffee with all the friends till the repair is done, to come and take over to drive. Now you understand, physicality of the man is not the owner of the man. Man is just a shell on the back of a snail, protecting it while the snail does its job. Your vision, if once you learn to connect it to your breathing, will open a new dimension of life. And what this is Next time, when you go through the cycle of the breathing, when you bring your lymph, which is your soul connections with your physicality, feeding to physicality what it needs through the soul, try to connect to your vision. And then you see what you see. And then you understand how you feel when you die, when you are detached from this physicality, because you'll see with the eye of the universe and the energy of the universe. I made man in the image of myself. I need no eyes and I no need lungs. But I do for me to enjoy the dimension of physicality and the beauty of Mitra. We are creatures of the universe, and we got attached ourselves too much to the dimension of physicality. And now you learn how is your job. Nobody else can do for you. Nobody can pay you to love them, and nobody can pay you to trust them, but yourself. And this is what it comes. Now you understand. And this runs right across to other dimensions of the teaching of the Keshe Foundation as we go closer to the point where the man meets his creator, which is within him. But you have to understand him, that you can connect to him, that you can understand your own purpose of life. Now you've seen what the air was. Now you see what the eye is. There are 100 senses in the universal community at least, and you muddled yourself with 5 of its physicality. Then it comes the emotion, which itself has no limit. And man will know new dimensions of emotion in the dimension of the connection with the cosmic rays of the universe. We are not teaching you about gas making. The gas was that bite which we throw in the water to catch the fish. That with that we don't capture the fish, but we give food to the fish to grow. And most of you have taken that bite. And now you understand how the process started. The teaching you receive today, and they'll stay for human race for thousands of years to come, is the separation of the man, not from this planet, but connecting man to the universal community, that he can enjoy his physical dimension on this planet and anywhere in the universe. I hope you enjoyed this teaching. And next time when you stand in front of the mirror, don't look at the face of the man. Don't look at the beauty of the eye of the woman. Is it blue? You say, what am I losing with this color of blue? Or with this color of brown that I cannot absorb from the universe because my skin has decided certain fields needed for me to see the dimension of physicality of my environment. And then you see what you see. The most interesting thing is what happened when one eye is blue and one eye is green. What is open to this? I used to know a chartered accountant who had this eye. And many times I put to her, what do you see? Very unstable. She could not decide what she loves and how she wants to live. But she was a chartered accountant. He says, figures are only things I can trust on the paper. Many nights I sat in front of her and I laughed. I said, which one are we going to trust? The blue or the green? Now you have to decide which eye you're wearing and which one is reality and which one is the dream. I hope you learned something today. that prepares you to become the man of the universe and the universal community, knowing your engine of physicality is the line of your connection that allows you to dream, to become part of the universal community when you don't kill, when you don't destroy, when you don't eat others. It's just emotional. And then you ask yourself, how come I was with mom and I was eating food? You ate the energies of the dream of that food. Not, you didn't kill for it. And you don't need to kill for it because it has no dimension of physicality. And this is what we are training, bringing man that not even dream in his dreams killing. Physicality we can handle. Thank you very much for today. And I hope now you learned what you have to do to take next steps to understand how you can transmute. You cannot transmute light. Your eyes are your door to the universe, but you have to know if you are going to use a night vision, you call it a dream, or day vision that you call physicality. We go for a break and we come back, and I hope you have seen the new dimension in teaching, and that's the whole purpose of it. And soon we open other doors to you that it allows you to control through the physicality dimension that you can live at the same time in both dimensions and be controller, and with it bring new dimension to humanity. This is one of the keys for man entrance to universal community. We go for a break and we come back.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Kesh. Thank you for opening our eyes to some new knowledge here. All right, well, as noted, we will have a short break here. I believe I'm going to play the video. There's a new video, and it's quite a treat from the Kesh Foundation. So I'll play that, and in our second part after the video, we'll have an opportunity for questions of Mr. Kesh. People can raise their virtual hands if you're an attendee in the Zoom session, or you can put questions in the webinar chat, or preferably in the Q&A in Zoom here, and also in YouTube. And we already have a question or two there. Okay, let's have a look at this new video. It's kind of a treat, I think. So we had an agricultural video previously. This is a second installment, and the Chinese agricultural realm. Okay, here we go. All right, that was very, very nice. Thank you, Mr. Kesh.
This is part of the Keshe Foundation operation in China. You saw the greenhouse inside. One of the pictures you see greenhouse from the top. This greenhouse has no glass roof, and we use it to see the technology, how to spray, and we spray our greenhouses with a evolution of what we call the drones. Has been one of the biggest problems for agriculturists to use the Keshe Foundation because it's too much laborious to spray every day. Now, with this technology, we just leave these in the fields, and each drone covers tens and tens of thousands of squares. It comes home, doesn't need anybody, it fills itself up when it's completed a cycle and goes back. In a way, the next generation has a preset memory, it doesn't need the operator. Lands on the platform, fills up, gets charged, and then comes back. This is an evolution in the technology that brings us into heavy agriculture. And in China, this is normal. Using drones for agriculture is a normality. This building you see now, go back a picture, the frame you were before. This is the Keshe Foundation greenhouse for Chinese agriculture. It's over 22,000 square meters. We'll show the inside of this very soon. The buildings you see, most of the buildings, the 3 buildings are Keshe Foundation operation in agriculture, and this will increase to 300,000 square meters in the next 12 months. This building is specially designed this way, has no roof, so we can spray both from the bottom and from the top. We can change the environment, we can change the ground level. And at the moment is on the pool cultivation. And most probably the next program you see, somebody told me, great, just explain to me, is this AI generated banner on the wall? No, this is the Keshe Foundation logo on all our buildings. And all our buildings which we occupy in this space city, we call it, carries our logo. It'll become a prominent logo across as more and more buildings and sections are added. Our research center, which is getting filled up, is not part of this building. It's a totally different building. And hopefully by the end of this year, an impressive research center, specially built for space technology application, will be unveiled. We'll invite the world leaders in science and technology from universities to come in to understand the new technology. It'll be based in China. And this, what you see, this blue building is one of the most advanced space centers in water agriculture. The one you saw with the spacesuits. It is an amazing place if you understand how it works, and we haven't mastered fully yet for its full operation. We don't need tests. We are not there to make profit. We are there to understand the problems of agriculture and find solutions for it. And if we produce products in this section, is a benefit. But the other thing is, if you go back on that big building, which you saw with no roof, especially for that purpose, this building is taken for a specific reason. We are growing Chinese herbs in a specific way. We developed this. This is all has been irrigated. It all has everything, remote water play. In the center of this building, there are 2 swimming pools, around about 180 to 200,000 liters of water. In the next few days, we start growing fish, no food. We want to see how we can change the food of we can grow the fish. We feed them through cosmic ray technology and what we know. And we have to train our staff that do not interfere with the fish. Chinese, 80% of them don't know what to do with the fish. They eat it, but they don't know how to look after it. And we had experiences with Chinese who have no understanding of the fish. So now training to the Chinese scientists that we don't want to feed, but what they get fed is exactly what we are feeding the plants. There's two reasons we did this, and you will see it most probably in the future videos. You will see the pool. We learned from the work with Alex in Africa, if you remember the swimming pool. And we learned from work we did with the Norwegian salmon industry. We learned from the work we did in fishery in Ghana and in Gambia that the fish does not need food, but it needs an environment that it can be pleasurable. So we have set this new pool, which you will see very soon. When the fishes live, they live in the environment of the pleasure, not as hunted. We have changed a lot of our structure that will become the basis, fundamental basis for the fishery agriculture of tomorrow. We want to show that we can produce fishes with omega-3, then omega-6 and poison and cancer in the fish because of the stress. This pool is nearly ready. It's just we are waiting for the last pieces of the equipment to go in, and then the fish will be fed by cosmic rays. It'll be evolution. We see how we succeed, we see how we move forward, and this is part of this. But the most important thing why we put this fish tank here is to show that the product, there is no chemicals. What feeds the plants feeds the fish. Cosmic ray. We can feed ourselves without killing. Those of you who are addicted to can live off it without actually dying. And shows that the process is natural, and it replaces the present heavily industrialized, chemicalized, growing fish. A quarter of the price to feed healthy fish, fish that can be medicine to man. So we grow in the fish and the Chinese herb next to each other, together. And the purpose is that we go for 2 or 3 years with this growth, with this way, that we produce herbs. We produce Chinese herbs back to strength they used to be maybe 100 years ago. People nowadays don't believe in Chinese herbs because they don't have the strength of it. We speak with the farmers. They say that it doesn't have what they used to. Now we are taking the chemicals and the combinations which is put into it. When we are mass producing in tens of thousands of meters the Chinese herbs with the effect of 100 years ago. No chemicals, and at the same time, because they energize with the energies of the what we call cosmic rays, much more powerful. We do not sell these products into the market to sell. We want to see how people get affected. The root you buy from a shop, which is says, oh, used to, now it does. But this becomes cleaning and developing vegetables that we make our technology out of, that is pure. We control, no chemicals. When you buy a product stamped by the Keshe Foundation, is pure from the seed to the hand of the man. These materials, as we grow, will be used by our what we call wellness center, and will be used by our medical application products, which very soon you will see across China. The health side of the Keshe Foundation products as medicine will be introduced in the Chinese market later on this year and beginning of next year in a massive way, and covering the whole of the China in one go. This process is setting up, it's getting set, and by the time everything is ready, you will see Keshe Foundation Chinese herbal medicine across Chinese hospitals and the processes. All is in the process of getting done. And all that will come from these greenhouses. In the near future, we don't rely on no one to supply us to trust that we use no chemicals. From the food, to the feed, to the fish, to the product manufacturing, and to that. It takes a long time, another year or so, for us to lock everything into each other. But you're seeing how we spend Keshe Foundation money. This unit has taken a long time to produce, and it just allows us. There's a step further after this, which will come in a mass production environmental change, which will be applied next year or so in China. We export this technology outside. And this is the opportunity to change, where the man does not need to buy what the farmer eats free 3 times, 4 times more in the supermarket, because it doesn't cost any more. You don't need to buy chemicals, you just need to change the style of the life. I hope you enjoyed this video. You will see a lot from this. The picture you see, this land does not belong to us. As part of our agreement with the authorities, or what we call the governmental side, we take part of their land. When we produce, we look after, and we compare the changes. This has started late, but it took time to set up. The next harvest is what we call corn, which from day 1 of seeding, we are in it. We are part of it, and we compare how much we changed. We got involved in this in very late stages, when the fruit was complete, where we started to spray, but we're still monitoring the data. Has it made any difference? So, if you're a farmer, Keshe Foundation is there to deliver. Technology is remote, and no more going and watering with gases. Everything is done automatic. You just put it there. It does it for itself every day. You don't need to be there. Just make sure there is a water and there is a power to the position. What we call the drone will do its job. The mixture is made in boxes the way it should be for that special plant, that special what we call harvest. And now we see in the very near future 10, 20 of these next to each other for huge land mass, which is going. This is beautiful when you can spray even the greenhouse from the top. We change the environment, and this is important for us to understand. Going to another announcement with the Keshe Foundation. As we are pushing forward with the meeting of 23rd, 24th of October in Switzerland, the Keshe Foundation has put out reservation. You can reserve your seat. We have a limited number of places for people to attend. It's an exhibition, not a conference, but at the same time, there will be a lot of presentations and explanations. 23rd is booked for officials and dignitaries, and the 24th is for knowledge seekers. You spend the day. We try to bring the head of the Keshe Foundation, Chinese operations, and the board of directors of the Keshe Foundation China will be present. What we call Keshe Foundation, heads of the Keshe Foundation will be present in the exhibition with the new technologies. Is a groundbreaking technology. This work for it is going on in the background, and it'll be a very limited number of people we can let in. And we try to keep the integrity of the work of the Keshe Foundation in this meeting. The other point with this is that we will demonstrate one of the major problems in Europe, how it's solved. The process is ongoing, and Keshe Foundation initially started working on this in 2017. Opportunity has risen in Switzerland for us to bring the two together and show how the technology can change everyday life for many of you through what we call environmental contamination. We consider Switzerland as a clean, everything to be perfect and clean. And it's a good place to show how a clean technology can bring cleanliness actually to the people. And then from here we spread it across Italy, France, Germany, and the rest of it. And I'm proud to say one of the ladies somebody we're working, an expert in the environmental work, has joined us, accepted the leadership, and she'll work between Europe and China in coming weeks to gradually bring scientific work in the background directly with the environmental section of the Keshe Foundation. She's the leading scientist. She's a She understands and has been in this work for a long time, and she accepted the position, and we'll see to the next step. This comes out of you writing to us, and we assess your expertise, your knowledge, and how you can do. And this week, 4 new positions around the world has been offered to the leading scientists to head their own divisions and to bring in a new technology division and what we call Keshe Foundation across the world. Language is not a barrier. Nationality is not a barrier. Nothing can stop us to serve humanity. You will see a lot of women at the head of the Keshe Foundation work. As the head of the Keshe Foundation, she's been there for a long time. You have now a number of ladies heading different divisions of the Keshe Foundation. We are not allergic to other races and creeds. We are all one and we work one. And the establishment of the Keshe Foundation is becoming very nice. How women are taking their leading position in such advanced technology. Right, tell us what you know, how you can, what's your expertise, and we look at it, and we are in a recruiting what we call cycle. You run your own laboratories, you run your own research, and we give you the facilities, and we bring your own team in. We guide you how to, and you work with the management of the Keshe Foundation, then through Market Corporation, and then through the European Corporation, to bring it across the world, to be spread very rapidly. On the other hand, some new products has been introduced this week. I've been told I have to mention. We have brought in a special material. It's expensive, but we want the feedback. If you go to the store of the Keshe Foundation, you see 2 different type of beads has been introduced. Again, the colors are not natural colors. The colors are very different. This is a part of the range of the products of the Keshe Foundation, where you will see the what we call the new beads that you can purchase. You need 2 of them. When you buy them, put one on the right, what you call it, hand, and one on the left foot across your body. The both sets are set up exactly the same as we used to do the paint pens. And as you go through it, understand how it works and how it's applied. And then you have other products, a couple of new products, fancy products have been released. We want to try something, we call it a butterfly book holder. If you put a book reading it, doesn't give you any different feeling than when you read a book not in the cosmic ray environment. This is a deliberate development and release, and it'll be interesting to see, does it feel any different if when you put your book you read in your hand or on the butterfly, which creates a different environment for even for the emotion of the product. Stop there, go back up, go back up, go back up, back up, back up, back up, back up, back up. There on the left hand side, the ordnance. At the moment, there is a number of ordnance working in our research centers. The first 4 ordnance has left our research and development, and it'll be in hand of knowledge seekers. So the ordnance are on the move. 28 of them by end of or middle of July will be around. We don't announce who receive it or what the reasons we have, but we have started delivering one on. Now we are going to, it's already left, it's in the hand of dispatch, and it'll be with you very soon. Do not disclose when you receive these to anyone. The first 28 are crucial. We run this for about a month to 2 months to see all the things we need to do. What are the factors? It's a plug and play. On the box you see the units. When you receive it, has a number. You don't need to announce it to us. If you announce it to us that you received it, it'll be good. But we recognize it directly through our system. Doesn't matter where you plug it in the world. When you receive, if you are one of the 28 people receiving these, do not announce or do not let my friend know or one of the knowledge seekers to know. We want to keep it totally secure. You're the first line of test. In August, September, we'll release 100 units. Depending on if we have to do work in the background, we see the weaknesses, we might delay it. But it's taken us nearly a year to put this out. At the moment, there's another 14, 15 master control units or whatever working in the background. They've been tested around. Now, this is going to across South America, Central Europe, Southern Europe, Asia, everywhere. And this is all for us to see the system. We go to 100 in September, October. We go to 500 by the end of the year. If all the tests comes perfect, we don't get interference. We don't need to adjust. And then you start receiving the universal antennas to add to it. And then we monitor the first 500, how they operate with the universal antennas. And then we go into release of tens of thousands in over the next 2, 3, 4, 5 years. Step by step. You are part of the support of the Keshe Foundation. You are part of the work of the Keshe Foundation. You supported us. Now we're going through the phase of testing. The way we tested in agriculture, now we're testing the system across. Can we transfer? Can we put one of these units with you? And connecting to you, you can change, let's say, addiction. You can change your hunger. 3 weeks ago, 3 Fridays ago, we did for the first time single individual test for addiction, because a lot of you didn't write to us. And we did a cycle of tests with one alcohol and whatever addict substances we don't know. And the interesting thing is, after 2 weeks, the guy says, I never had addiction. I have no craving. I wasn't addicted. And he's in the Institute for Addiction and Alcoholism. He says, I have no craving. So we have seen 1 session, 2 hours has changed life. That he, the person inside himself, he has been taken to rehabilitation for alcoholism, whatever. And he says, I have no craving, I'm not addict. Even have erased the memory of addiction. No craving. And we test this again with some individuals we see in the next few weeks through these ONNs. That the message received by people who are part of can deliver. We received a beautiful gift from one of the knowledge seekers yesterday. They have created an app for the Keshe Foundation. I thank both of them. These guys have worked so hard and been at it. And it's passed on to the people who are in charge of it. And soon, if their work is completed with the other work of the Keshe Foundation, you'll get your app. It's already done by these knowledge seekers. The gifts we receive is unbelievable, but in a way, we gave you the gift free in 2016. And it took 10 years for you to gift it back to us. Now we can give it to the rest. And this is the process which is going on. And after a year delay, your audience are literally on the way to the first 28 people. Altogether, I think it's about 42 of these in operation, which has been set different part of the world. They're in 3-4 locations at the moment. Now we go to 28 locations plus the other 10 or 14 units which are in the background running as the controllers and the testers and the rest of it. I thank those who are behind it. It's been a lot of hard work, a lot of nerve-wracking time. And once this is done, we complete the first 28, we start sending and seeing how the cash coins will operate and behave and the control of it. So this is part of the bigger structure of testing for us, allocating delivering cash coins and cash coins, the two different coins, into the operation, monitoring it, not hacking, and the rest of it. So please, when you receive these units, we thank you for being with us. We thank you for accepting to support us in this, but keep it to yourself. Keep it in a cool place. It creates heat, creates energy, and put it on a stand that it can airflow, air condition around it. And then when you receive your universal antenna, there is a plug in the back. We send you a picture where to plug it. Just plug and play. You don't need to do anything else. Then we transfer energies and cosmic ray energies. When we give you this, we have to see how these fields affects the motherboard on these systems. In what you receive, it might not do anything wrong. It might be working, and then when we send the energy of an apple, it might interact with it. This is the test. What is need to be done, and we go through it. There's a position we are looking for experienced sales team for the Keshe Foundation in China and worldwide. Our sales team needs strengthening. We rely on the knowledge because we understand what it does, but they have expertise in sale. And this position is open. We're trying to cover it with everything else. We need a modern advertising systems. We don't rely on televisions, and we don't rely on, God knows, telephone calls. We are trying to use the influencers and gradually build up the technology around those who understand the new technology and want to use it. We are looking for doctors who can start testing our material, what we call medical applications, with license through Chinese structure of their licensing across their patients in China and outside. These are all owned, controlled by the Keshe Foundation team and run for the Keshe Foundation. We expect to launch about 10 different products across China in the next few weeks or the next few months. And if you are in Chinese herbal medicine, or you are in medical applications, or what we call as a doctor in China, please get in touch with us. Gradually you will understand how to do it and tell us what you see. You can advise us. We need your expertise. And we put you in touch with the sales team of the, what we call the medical sales. And you can negotiate with them or talk with them, advise them or whatever, and in the team which will be set up. This is totally in-house Keshe Foundation Corporation, and will take you into the factories to see. And you understand how we do. And then we get export license for these across the world. We are going step by step. A lot of this was done in different part of the Keshe Foundation in the past. And now all those certifications, all those materials are coming into use for the, what we call medicine part of the Keshe Foundation application. Everything is under the regulation and what we call certification of the Chinese authorities. And the products will be simultaneously spread across China. Every structure for this is already been set up by knowledge seekers, and now we are amalgamating everything together. If you have any expertise, if you have developed anything, get in touch with us. We look at it. If it is something feasible and something we can do, we join you. And we ask you to join us to be part of the bigger expansion and development. Are there any questions?
Were there some other images that are of products that I should be showing here now, Mr. Keshe?
I don't know if it's loaded, but it should be there.
Maybe it's under Cosmic Spring. I can have a look at that.
It should be brought up to the top. I don't know if it's a put. Is the beads.
I tried looking under new released products and it didn't seem to be there.
Yeah, it should be coming up today, tomorrow, or this week.
Okay.
It's very interesting. Those of you who take the bead, we want to know the outcome. One is sugar bead and one is a pain bead, and we would like to see how you enjoy the product. What you see, the cosmic balls, we don't produce. I had the request yesterday, can we carry on with it, because a lot of knowledge seekers still are interested to buy these cosmic balls. At the moment we don't produce them, and we have, I think, a very few, handful of them I think is left. And then when the next cycle will be, we have no plan for it. But the beads and everything else, you watch for it, you'll see it on top of the Keshe Foundation. But book for Swiss, what we call exhibition, in advance. We won't let nobody, we won't sell tickets at the door. Only those who pre-booked will be allowed in. There is no, I came all the way from outside, can I come in? Doesn't exist. You cannot book half an hour before you come in. All the booking has to be completed. We know what we have, who comes, or the way they come, and then we organize it accordingly. Do you have any questions?
Yes, well, it's interesting, Mr. Keshe, that in YouTube we had the very first question before you even began your talk on the eyes. You were talking mainly about vision and the eyes and eye color and whatnot. So the question that came into the YouTube from Breeze Jacko. Hello, everyone. Quick question to Mr. Keshe. Is there a possibility of using plasma technology in cases of retinal detachment or retinal separation? Thank you and greetings from Poland, Jacob Breeze.
Eye is something we look very, very closely to, but you have to understand, anything connected to the head can affect the soul. And as our systems are coming into the what we call trial test market, which actually you use the unit for controlling everything and feeding yourself to your soul, we expect to see interaction with the eye. It's inevitable. This is one of the reasons we didn't push much with anything to do with sight, as we wait for the final developments of the new systems. This is part of the Viso unit, which has now become a head unit. I believe a lot of things can be done, but we are very careful about this at the moment. Very careful. And this will go to our what we call Chinese medicine section, and the what we call Chinese application. Maybe you have to fly to China to get and come back. A lot of you will introduce new what we call materials to Chinese medical application company. Is what you call, everything is under license, Chinese license certificate. Be it from cancer, being from everything else, will be sold, handled, certified through the operation we're setting up in China. We are testing new materials which we have seen amazing feedback in a short time, in a way following what we teach. Now we see it in application. But if you need the products, you have to fly, because nobody can stop you bringing yourself back out of China. And it's sold in hospitals, is sold, applied in most probably pharmaceutical structures like chemists, and you get the address of it, you can go. But at the moment, we have no plan to get international license through FDA for our products. We don't see any reason. The world is small, and many of you travel. No government can stop what's in your pocket. And this is the way we look at it. And secondly, once we launch these through the ONNs, you go on an app and you choose the material you want. You got a headache, you put the headphone on, you connect to the app, the headache is gone. Why do I need to take chemicals? It's not a dream, now it's in our reach. And you have seen we are controlling from seed to the growth to the production. In a way, when we see we sow the seed in the land in China, we monitor it growing. That seed or the product of it, the harvest of it, goes directly into our factory, changed into material it can be, and then from the factory gets sent to the medicine manufacturing part of the Keshe Foundation, from there directly to the sales, which we own again, into the hand of the people. We become fully vertical. No one, and then we see the change, the effect on people. We have seen the first changes in agriculture. 69-day harvest has changed to 39, and today, just before the teaching, I received a video. They don't even know why it was supposed to be 39 days. The harvest is not there. They already cultivated it. We find out next week. Have we reduced the time to 25? But what's the difference in the emotion of the people who eat it? I asked the team to give a more detailed pictures that you become part of us. You supported us to be here. You see the tomatoes, you see the cucumbers, you see the onions which are growing, and how it is. I've asked them not to stop harvesting, let it go through the winter. Can we support growth all the way through the winter? Because we're changing everything outside and inside. Every week we change the environment, we control the environment of the, what you call the greenhouses. From outside we control, from inside we control. We're creating a what we call climate, not eco. Eco doesn't work. It hasn't worked because we have to use chemicals. The cosmo environment gives us a fantastic opportunity to test. And the whole thing is, everything is done by Keshe Foundation. Everything is done. In the next maybe year, even the zincs, CO2s, and then all calcium and everything else will be produced from cosmic rays that does not have a traces of any what you call contamination directly into our tanks. As we absorb the Zn from atmosphere, we produce this energy package of it as a, what we call it, as a GANs. Then we see the real true effect. It's getting set up. A beautiful factory is in the process of completion in the next 6 weeks or so. We do not show our factories to no one. It's sacrosanct what we do, but it'll be one of the most advanced environments where we don't go for buying products. We decide to produce GANs of copper today. We produce the copper in the water as energy to GANs. Technology is in our hand. It's just that we have to go to the next level to do it. We don't need to go to a mine. We don't need to go to a zinc importer or a copper importer. We are negotiating rare earth material production with one of the major governments in the world. Negotiations are on the way, where the nation does not need to import a single gram of mine to damage the culture, what we call the landscapes of the world. But we had to plan it. You are knowledge seekers within us. Why do you think we are pushing with the cash coin to come into being circulation before we introduce the production of materials like in Western Europe or America or China or Japan, that they need to control all the rare earth materials because you produce it aside. We have to support the African nations, the nationals, that they don't lose anything if somebody wants their gold, because everybody can produce the gold. This is one of the reasons I introduced the cash coin. They're rich, they have money to live, they don't need to sell their lands and they don't need to go poverty because the West has moved on, but they come up with the new solutions, new life. We support, we have to have these ordinance completed, that we can supply 1,000 coin valued at 1 million euro the minute the child takes his first breath. The mother knows there are no worries. I have a cash coin in my pocket. I can buy the clothes. I don't have to worry that my worry psychologically changes into my milk, which I give freely to my child. We are touching much deeper than you think, but has to be done step by step the correct way. Cash coins, the one is you buy is not just having them. This allows us to distribute what we do freely across. And then we have with this to be able to release the coins that we can provide it to every citizen on this planet. Then doesn't matter if Chinese want 50 ton or 100 ton of gold and the Japanese need titanium or whatever else. Doesn't touch Africans because at the moment they're robbing them. No, they stay independent. And this is what we are here for. Keshe Foundation for the next 20 to 40 year plan is on course, will not change. We don't need no government to support us, as you've seen. The people in China are baffled how every day all expenses are getting met. Everything we're growing solid, no bank borrowing, nothing. The agriculture comes into operation, will pay for itself. The medicine will pay for itself and allows the researchers to do their work independent. No government can decide on what we decide on research or development and marketing. And it's done totally by your support over the past 20 years. Every item you buy, every sessions you join, every donation you did, all goes in one direction. And now you've seen it. You ask any agriculturist, bring 30, 40,000 square meters of latest technology into operation and run. Now you see then the wellness centers, which is on the plan, will come up very soon. You can go to China to wellness centers, which is operated totally from A to Z by Keshe Foundation technology. You don't get it in the West, you don't get it in anywhere else. You fly in to Keshe Foundation Space City, you get it and you walk out, or you put it in your pocket. Nobody can tell you what you carry. Any other question?
Thank you, Mr. Keshe. I'll remind our attendees that you do have a virtual hand that you can raise if you would like to personally ask a question. We do have some questions in the Q&A and in the webinar chat. First from Plazma-ciało-zrozumienie, who says, hello, Rick, can you please ask this question? Hello, Mr. Keshe. Who is that huge eye of light that appears to the soul every now and then, and I see it as a soul? I have noticed that it appears when I sin, as if I have not yet made the expected change. It has happened to me that I was ashamed and looked away, and I immediately got a blockage at a certain point. The intensity.
I don't understand.
And so I don't either. I think they would have to talk personally, and I think I know your answer, which would be you weren't there, and you're
Oh,
not
to
sure
get
what
10
they.
years or 20 years, 15 years to get used to that.
So if they want to personally ask that question, maybe they can clarify and they can put their hand up. So there's another question from Stefania. I can't quite understand it as well, so I'm not going to. If you can clarify that question, Stefania, the first one there about different color of eyes and lazy eye and some couple of words I can't figure out. Anyway, she has a second question, probably from someone in the group. When we eat honey and pollen or milk from animals, is it considered theft? As I understand, we are not killing anyone. So I wondered about that too, in terms of, for example, fruits from a tree, say an apple tree. When an apple falls from the tree and we eat that apple, and is that theft, or is it harming another being? Is it actually harming the soul? Because maybe the fruit's made to be eaten. That's how the seeds get around, and might find a fertile ground somewhere. Perhaps a human might even plant the seeds and continue growing the trees. So is that considered okay, or is it still hurting a soul?
This still is part of the structure, if you look at it, that if one is not bad, so the other one won't be. And this is, what do you call it, part of what limitation we put to ourselves. Once I start eating, so I eat everything else. And how and what we value. If it's fallen off the tree, is it mine, and can I do it? And then I've done that. And this is what we have to consider. It's just off the tree. You cannot take it because the tree has dropped it. Yes, but then you get the habit of eating it next time you go for the tree. Anything else?
Okay, thank you. Let me see here. Our Q&A. Let's go right through the list here. Can you explain the operation of cats' eyes when they are fighting snakes? I watched my cat kill a cobra snake. The cat seemed to be way faster in his strike as compared to the snake. Thank you. How are the eyes affecting how fast a cat can be?
There is a lot of mysticism about cats.
True.
According to historical papers, historical what we call tablets, found from thousands of years ago, it's been said that the cat is not from this planet and was brought in to do certain things. And there's a lot of explanation about behavior because people couldn't understand their behavior. They consider them as to be something brought in. And I've read a lot of these historical papers about cat, what you call translation. Some of it is banned from public. I don't understand why. Some of the tablets found 4,000 or 5,000 years ago written about a cat is so, God knows, translation of it is so deep that it's not open to public. And I thought an animal knowledge is not open to public. And in these papers they talk about how they can concentrate, focus, that as they see through you. It's the only animal which does that, motionless. And they somehow analyze everything through one picture, where we need hundreds of pictures. It's just like their focus. They take that picture, they analyze it, and they analyze the emotion, the feeling of the, what you call, the time, the place, and whatever they are in. When you have to process one picture, is very fast. So one, scientifically we understand, if you have a cat, you watch, even in that second you see overcoming a snake or whatever, watch them. There's a part of the phrase for milliseconds, you come, sometimes you see it, they are frozen. They analyze that picture, and in that picture, they assess everything else. They don't need to be running like other animals or humans. You see this behavior with Messi, the football player. It's amazing if you understand his work. Messi, when the football starts, the game starts, you see all the footballers running everywhere. He watches for about 4 or 5 minutes, 10 minutes at the beginning of the game, if he gets an opportunity to go. But he behaves exactly like a cat. He, one by one, scans every opponent footballer. He, one by one, scans every of his own team, and then he starts playing. I watched the behavior of Messi very much in what he calls a scientific report. One image gives him what he can do in that game, where he can position himself, what he can rely on in that game. And we've seen his mastership in this game. Sorry about he lost the last game very bad, but in the World Cup. But he himself is a master. He's like a cat. Cats do this, and they have that ability of one picture frame analysis, the soul and the physicality, and they know how it's going to behave, and that's why they're successful in these things. You don't see it in the young kittens, and the mother teaches them. And these animals, we see a slightly this behavior in cheetahs. We don't see it with the lions. We don't see it with other cats. The cat itself has this ability of single image analysis And then everything else compares to that single image. And that's why they are usually successful. And as humans, we can do. We've seen it. I call Messi the cat of footballers because he does that. And this is why they're successful. This is why they always land on their feet. They analyze from the first time where they're landing, what they've done. That 1 microsecond picture tells them which muscle they need to bring into operation, how they have to land, and automatically the body does it. It's like the soul sets it for landing. I have studied the behavior of the cat for a long, long time, and scientifically we can say how they do it. It's a single image, decision made, and the whole body changes into that. I'm going to win this snake. Analyze it, his weaknesses, where it is, how it's moving. In that picture, I decide. Sit in front of your cat and watch it. It sees through you. Say it's, it's asleep. It's, it's frozen. No, he's analyzing your soul. It's just directly he sees different images. In the next few weeks teaching, I'll teach you about this. What you heard about the vision today, it has other parts to it to come. Your vision, without you knowing, assesses the aura, the fields around you. And that field gives a lot of what we call information how you behave. We see people physically with the eye, and our soul sees their fields, what you call aura. That even our machines don't make the aura which the soul sees. And then we assess. And the more we become understanding the work of our soul, we live like a cat too. I've said that many times before. If you walk into a meeting, people have no emotional connection, it's just a business. Within 5 minutes, I make a decision where he's going to go. If you're going to do something with this guy, what is his behavior? And that decision ends up 95% correct. Unless they do something wrong or take a different action in the middle. But the assessment is always, because I look at the physical side, and at the same time I look at their emotion, the aura, the way they walk, the way they shake hand, the way they put their foot, the way they sit with you. Is all part of the soul and the aura they create, and the cats are good at this. So don't worry about seeing it done, because the geared up frozen picture analyze both what we call the aura, the emotion aura, and the physical body. So they are ahead. They see what the snake thinks to do. They're already connected to it. They're aware of the colors of the emotion. It's a very interesting thing to one day I explain. We wrestle to show who's more powerful. We do hand wrist fight to show who has more power. We fight to show who's more powerful. The souls see each other on the strength field, and common ground we all have. And what is my strength in with you? Let's say if you are a 5 Tesla soul level and I'm 6 Tesla soul level, I don't insert me, I'm more powerful. I don't need to fight with you to win and I'm stronger. No, I share have some of my one extra, we share half and half, we become both 5.5. It's a different world of living. And this is, some animals do this. We see it, I observe this in Africa, because there is a different way of life than here. Our animals have changed into human matter. In Africa, when you sit in some places, you see the old way, like the Chinese herbs. They share. I need you to live. You take my soul, take my physicality, we go together. This is where we look at the end of life, but we look at the other side of sharing life. It's a different savannah, there's different pictures of life when you look at it with the night vision of the soul. You cannot lie if you learn the dimension of the soul. You feel it because it's there. The betrays, the adultery, the lies, the cheats, the deception, the loves, the care. Some people are scared to show their love because they're scared of what might be. Some people are scared of talking, of what might be. But if you see the level of the soul, you know how to speak. Some people don't deserve to be loved because they abuse that. Some people don't deserve to be honest with because they abuse that. And some people you share everything and they build it with you because you see the soul, not the physicality, because behavior comes from emotion. And the emotion dictates the behavior. And then if you are not there, you go to the soul, soul says I was lying, forget about it. But it's sincere. Watch your cat next time. Watch and find that 1 second freeze. And then you know why it wins every time. If you watch, the cat is the only animal, more or less, who makes an arch when he goes into defense. Then you understand why. It connects the emotion of the physical side, which goes on the back of the spine, in the spinal cord with the brain, all work as one. We have very few animals who behave this way. They complete the circuit, they connect to the soul, and in a way, the tail end of the spine deceives the animal. The animal doesn't look at the head, looks at the end, and that's how the cat gets him by the neck. It's very interesting. Watch that. Just video it and watch the phrases, and then you see it. Any other question?
Okay, thank you. We have a hand up here with Mothira John. Please go ahead. Hello? I see your microphone open, but we can't hear your voice. Something is not connected with your microphone, or the microphone volume is turned down.
How do you pronounce this name? Martha John Park. Hello. No,
we can't quite hear you. It's choppy. Go
You're
ahead.
on the oceans of the waves, going through the storm. Blah, 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 blah. Maybe your volume is too high. Reduce the volume of your, what do you call, your headphone.
Yeah, we're not able to hear. Maybe you can type in your question if you wish, or
Yeah.
try to get a better setup. I heard
Is it
something.
okay?
We hear you now, I think. Go ahead.
Yeah, actually, now the recent government has actually changed. We had an elections.
Where are you
that-
from? Where are you from?
I'm from India.
Ah,
So
okay.
he's a Universal Council member, correct?
Yeah, it's correct.
Yes.
And then after a month, I managed to meet a minister. I had a word with him about our Kesh Foundation, and now have mailed to you about it, but I didn't get any reply from you. It info at Kesh Foundation.
I seen the mail from you, but we don't know what you're talking about. Send more specific. I saw your email yesterday or the day before, and I asked the team to write back to you to see which country are we talking about, who we are talking about, which government, in what detail.
It's actually this is the heading actually which I gave you. It's from India Tamil Nadu government.
Yeah. I gathered that from your email, but I need more information and communicate through the email channel. We respond to you as now I know what you're talking about. I try to set up a time that we can speak on Zoom,
For sure, yes.
and then we can discuss things more in detail.
For sure, yes, Mr. Kesh.
Yeah, send a message to the
Absolutely.
info. No, I'll give you a Zoom time we can meet because it's important what you wrote, but I couldn't connect what you're talking about, exactly what it is. And I asked email to be sent to you to explain in more detail. Send a message that I've asked for a Zoom. They send it to me, and I allocated time in the next week or so that we can talk and do it properly.
Okay, Mr. Kesh. Because
Thank you very much.
thank you, Mr. Kesh.
Thank you.
I sent actually 4-5 mails, but it got bounced back. It didn't reach you.
Yeah, it has to go. It has to go through. The Universal Council members have a special connection. You go through the Universal chat, Universal Council chat, and send a copy from there to the email, and we get it. There is no Universal Council chat is monitored by us very heavily. Put a message and time for a Zoom, and I ask the team to bring it up, and we call you back and we can discuss it.
Okay, sure, Mr. Kesh.
Yeah, Universal Council members and the Earth Council members have a direct line to me. You don't need to go to anywhere else. But I don't go to your chats much because you have your own chit chats, and I don't get involved in it. I watch it. Then we can talk directly on the line between you and me. You don't need to set up anything else up. Use the Universal Council link and send me a message direct. I get it. There is no intermediate. There is no need for email. Any other question?
Jabani had a question. Is it regarding soul travel? Is it true that when you soul travel by dream and you see dead people that you don't know, that you will soon join that community?
What?
I thought you would say what? I think he's saying that probably with the people of his group and his community, perhaps they're worried about when you soul travel by dream and you see dead people in your dream. If you don't know them, then you will soon join them.
What does that mean?
I don't know. Maybe it's a some sort of tradition or cultural thing. I don't know if we can answer that.
I don't know.
You have to talk to the ones that joined that community when they saw their dream, and it's too late to talk to them, unfortunately.
Oh, yeah. I don't understand.
Okay, let's carry on here. From Swetoslav, who says, "Good day, Rick. Thank you, Mr. Kesh. I have one question. Can you make the energy of a plant or animal with the universal cup? Thank you very much."
In a way, yes, but depends how you do it. But you have to understand the composition. You have to understand the composition of the soul, how it is. It's very hard to do it in parts, and it's very hard to find the exact location that you can take that part. Needs a special way to do it, a special knowledge, and I don't think no knowledge seeker has reached that level yet. There is a way to do it, and part of our agriculture heads to that way. Any other question?
Okay, from anonymous attendee, can we place fans on top of the ONN to draw the heat out?
No, it doesn't need it. You just keep it in a normal place. Don't lock it up in a suitcase. Don't lock it up in a cupboard. It needs airflow. And it does its job. It's like any other computer.
Don't use it for a hat rack.
Yep, definitely. Don't use it at all. And don't put it in the back of you cycling down the hill. Plop, 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 plop. Treat it as a normal. It's something which we'll do. In the long run, we would like to see the effect of this worldwide, because then the way we look at it, I think I explained this without going in a little bit of more detail. If you go back to the past teaching, always said that the earth, due to its composition, has not managed to feed its citizens. Cat, dog, whatever. But with the inertia, it has locked into what it does in the center. So we are restricted to what composition is in our body due to the inertia of the components of it. You got to understand the center of the earth is a plasma, is a hollow, because that's the characteristic of a plasma. The same as in your brain. Then you have a dynamic part we call the magma, which is one of the reasons the composition of it being mixed allows different inertias to be created and moves the inertia. The magma underneath of our feet is exactly the same run as we have in the oceans, in the rivers in the oceans. Oceans are not just static. They all move. Waters move, like the warmth of the air from Southern America warms the west coast of England and makes it habitable. But the warmth comes all the way from South America to the northern Europe. And the same is with magma. Magma flow inside the earth has a pattern. And this pattern dictates the condition above, because these are the creators of the magnetic field, is the generator of the energy. Is that, you have a magnet, solid coil, and then you have a magnet rotating. and you create energy, you create electricity. It's the same process. The magma is that rotating magnet, and the shell of the earth, the crust of it we sit on, is that solid state. And the interaction of this magma with the solid state inertia creates different energies, creates different emotion, creates different condition of thoughts. It's all field. You produce 1 volt with a rotor, you can produce 1 megawatt with the same rotor, but if you know how to handle it. And this is the part of the structure that we have to understand, to learn, and then we can travel, be anywhere, because we know when to detach, when to create a negative position of it. In the space reactors, which we'll show very soon, very soon, in 2027, 28, we'll show the first UFO, for sure, independent by the Keshe Foundation. And it's a problem a lot of what you call space agencies have. They still haven't solved this riddle. We're coming tomorrow, in next 2 days, to what we call equinox and Stonehenge. People are puzzled how these huge stones, there are stones, I was talking about knowledge recently, 300-ton, 400-ton stones sit on top of a structure. Today's all the cranes we have, we cannot move such a thing. How do they get it there? Keshe Foundation has and is developing a technology which can do. We're not talking. Go and read the pattern. It's in the pattern. Now we are delivering. Read the lift system in the pattern of the Keshe Foundation. It's not something which we'll talk about. We can move millions of tons. You can literally move a mountain with a spoon, because this is actually discussed in the Keshe Foundation. It's getting going for development. The spaceships, when you land, you cannot use negative anti-gravity, all that rubbish. You have to create the right atmosphere that the Earth magnetic field with your system magnetic field handshakes. You don't throw with a handshake, you let go loose. But you have to know how to develop that technology of handshake, to create the separation, to create the vibration, to create it. And we have achieved that technology. It's in our hand, it's not something we're going to do. And one of the knowledge seekers was affected by it very recently. You have to understand the process of detachment from the soul to dimension. If you go in the presentation of last May in Beijing, the mottos, it says in one of the intros, the obsolete, I think it's Raphael says the obsolete systems. They are obsolete. The Keshe Foundation technology systems has no motor, no mechanical motor. In the coming time, you will see the flight. You will see new communication systems which has no electronics. Nothing exists in it. The first pieces of it was in my hand in the past few days. We are on the verge. In the Space Center in China, this will be developed very rapidly, because everything is done. It's just literally jigsaws together, just put it together. Then when you create systems like this, you work at the field of the soul, the strength of the soul. You can change it. You can change the soul to production of materials you want at the time you want. World of Science has not understood the difference between the solid, the a plant and human life or animal life. And if you understand this, you can move millions of tons. It doesn't take a fraction of a second. Little, very little energy. The energy you use to pick up a spoon to feed yourself is the energy you need to move 100 ton, million ton. This knowledge was in the hand of the man. Man abused and he was withdrawn. When you look at these structures, no slave was used, no, God knows all the rubbish you see in the historic and in the books. Pharaohs used slaves. One spoon, everything is carried, but hidden in different ways. They were scared to share the knowledge. And when they made the pyramids, they lost the knowledge. Because they did not share the knowledge. This is all in, we are hitting for equinox next 2 or 3 days. And when you look at the Stonehenge, when you look at these constructions in that time, just have a look. You pick up a spoon, you can pick up the other stone. Then knowledge has to be taught. And Keshe Foundation research is on it. You're building the systems for it. So aircraft 1,000,000 centimeter is irrelevant. You can do the same with your body. You can lift yourself. If you know how to tune, I'll teach you. You will learn. But then you move the physicality. What are you going to do with the soul? Any other question?
Okay, thank you. We had a question from Gail in the chat here, who says, thank you, Mr. Keshe, for a bird's eye view of the effects of man's eye color on his being. My question is about the 1G in last week's teaching. How does the vacuum in our body affect the 1G?
No, it has its own G parameter. This is where we float in the present space technology, and where in the Keshe Foundation space technology you don't float, you live a normal life. Weightlessness is meaningless because the system used today does not have a soul. When we walk on this planet, our soul in a hidden way has already balanced itself with the soul of the planet. You talk about the gravity and magnetic field of the planet. You don't talk about gravity and magnetic field of the soul of the planet. Our body deals with the physical part, 1G. Our soul deals with the soul gravitational magnetic positioning. In a space, we learn to use ours in respect to the environment we create, because the systems are made through what we call cosmic ray technology in the fields of the universe. Our system, space labs, don't have a soul, so the man is shaking around and floating around. If you create a soul within these systems, nobody will float. Man doesn't understand the science of creation, so he's busy with his monkey business. It's the same. I was laughing a few days ago. Get yourself a picture of American or World Space Lab and get yourself one from Chinese. The knowledge of the man is a mayhem with the Americans. It's like a guy who collects rubbish around the world and puts it anywhere. And they're proud of their disorder, they're proud of not everything else, and it's glorious. Look at the Chinese lab. You don't see a single wire. It's so clean. Everything is immaculately arranged. In a few months' time, when the Keshe Foundation collaboration with Chinese space is complete, you will see the astronauts in China space will walk normal as on Earth. We introduced this as part of our collaboration with the Chinese Space Organization. Contracts are already signed. It's not something we're going to do. Everything is set to go into the next phase. When you don't have a soul, you float. Connection with the system. When you understand how to connect your soul with the soul of the system, you're at 1G anywhere. 1G is not what you measure. 1G is the balance of survival, that you are normal in the condition you are in. You can go on moon and still have 1G compared to the gravitational field force of the moon. Then you don't need to. You only can do that when you can tune the soul. When is the material? No, it doesn't. In the next few months, in the next couple of years, the collaboration between Chinese Keshe Foundation and the China space organizations and military defense will bring this into operation. You will see, I hate when I see, it's just like an American space lab is a nonsense of a lot of people doing things for the sake of just being there. Wires everywhere, nobody knows what it is. Get a picture of Chinese space. It's orderly, it has mannerism. You can work with it. You can create the soul that you can operate in it. It's shameful when you see the European and American space lab. You just, Chinese don't let anybody in, and you see how disciplined these people are. It's a joy to work with the Chinese scientists. We don't have this in the West. And then you create a soul because you see where the problem is. All we need to do is to introduce one of our systems inside the Chinese space lab, and they walk like you and me on Earth. Weightless is gone. Because you're dealing with the G of the matter. You don't work with the G of the soul, which is a cosmic ray. This is a schizophrenic life we live, and this is what we're changing. Can you imagine you're traveling millions of kilometers a second, and then your soul is still in the dimension of physicality? Your soul will encapsulate your physicality, that it moves inside with it. We're not talking about them. These systems are already, as part of the evolution of technology, in progress. They're getting built. This is why you're weightless. This is why you have a problem to understand. And our brain creates 1G inside it for in respect to itself 1G, not in respect to outside 1G. The interface is that skin of the man. Because the skin is part of the brain. It collaborates, and then with the soul, this is what I can accept, this is what I can accept. You float in the dimension of the field of the universe, where you go space traveling in your dreams, and you never float in your dreams, do you? Now you understand the difference. You understand how misguided the knowledge of man is. When you have a dream of your mother, do you float in front of her and she floats? No. You meet at each other's space, cosmic ray, gravity, magnetic field. You never could understand this. Now maybe you understand. Have you ever asked yourself why the astronauts are floating when they go into space, and I go to space and I walk the way I want? Because you deal in your soul field, cosmic ray, at a 1G of the space-time and place and position. You're part of it. That's the 1G of the space-time. And when you can do that with your soul in the dimension of the space of physicality, you get a man walking. If man can walk and understand this, then you can walk in the space-time. You don't need to hop like a rabbit on the moon. You walk on the moon like anybody else. You shut your mouth and you connect through your eyes to the universal cosmic energies, you don't need the fountain to feed because you take what you like through your eyes. Now you understand the secret of living on the moon. Man needs a lot to learn when he stops kidding. Any other question?
Thank you, Mr. Kirsch. You see here.
The last question.
Okay. Let's see. Well, from Theodora, who says the iris is of a different colors, but the pupil is black for everyone. Is it a black hole? It's magnetic mirror that absorbs the fluids and magnetic field lines of the universe. And what does it bring to internal vision?
What? Repeat yourself.
Saying that the iris is makes up the different colors that we speak of, but the pupil, the center, is black for everyone. Is it a black hole?
No, that is the balance of the fields. I call it the soul of the eye. In a way, what the implementation decides will go through that hole. That's your filter. That's why we have different behaviors with different color of the eye. If you gotta go much deeper, I don't think it's the place to talk now or teach now, but maybe in the future I refer to it. The specific eye colors creates specific skin touch. The skin of the man is connected through the soul of the man with the brain of the man. If you touch a blackened skin, it's soft, it's amazing soft. You touch a whiter skin, specifically to different combination of the color of the eye, you get different texture, softness. You touch a blue-eye Russian, the skin touch softness is different. And you say this eye, girls or boys or whatever have such a skin because the energy absorbed through the eye, now you understand the importance of the eye in absorbing cosmic ray, interacts with the brain, the lung and the skin are of the same tissue when you're conceived in the womb of the mother. So a specific eye colors creates specific skins, creates a specific behavior. When you touch a white skin Russian, it's emotionally unbelievable because we are not used to. And that kind of light absorbed by the eye, which feeds the skin, is dictator of the emotion and the skin texture. This is how much universal energies affect us. The energy we absorb through our eye decides our skin tone, our behavior. One day I'll teach you, and then you see why we behave and how some people dominate, control when they enter a meeting by what they release from their skin. It creates a behavior. I used to have a Siberian friend, and I always told her, It's amazing how you people behave and how people perceive you. I lived in England. I know what that blue eye, white skin texture is not the same as Russian. I lived in Africa. I know what the African texture is. And always ask myself, do people know that their eyes, the color of their eyes, decides their skin and their emotion? Because it works through the soul. Our body is a compromise, is a what we call not a compromise, but it's an interaction of the fields of the universe and this planet. And when they do two match, they create us. Because at the end, the skin cannot live, the soul is not there. In traveling across the world, in more than 80 nations, I always looked at the behavior, looked at the what we call the color tones, and the way they are. And I used to know very closely a Russian doctor, and she used to explain to me in detail exactly how they feel the touch, and it's totally different than what we feel with touch. And then we see our eyes dictates the texture of our skin, because it's the only direct interaction with the soul. Your soul walks through your eyes, absorbs through your eyes, and that whole dictates with the combination of cartilages, of everything else around your muscle tissue of the eye, and the colligation of the retina and everything else is there. Your eyes is a gatekeeper of the field of the universe, which directly feeds your soul. Calcium is one of the things which interacts with the what we call motion or restriction of the work of the cosmic rays. And one day I explained the reason. And why every cell of the body of the man has a calcium as a seed, otherwise it doesn't work. It's planned that way because that's the only way you can survive, that's the only way you can convert cosmic rays into the level that your soul can survive within the structure of your physicality. Look at your body, look at your skull, and then look at your bone. How come the skull is only part which the organ is inside, and the rest of the body, everything else hangs on or engaged in? Your bones, your skeleton, your legs, bone, everything is hanging on it. The only place that there is no muscle tissue and doesn't need to hang on because it doesn't, the muscle is contained in is your brain. And the eye is the only rite of passage into the universe. A lot to learn. Thank you very much for today. We'll meet you in what we call, hopefully, coming time. And we try to explain in more detail how the things are and how the things are going to be, and for you to gradually learn. Rick, I was just sent a message that if you can check the store, the Switzerland.com exhibition is already put up, and the other products will be followed today. If you want to check, you can bring it up. I haven't seen it, but it's getting worked on in the background.
Okay, and which category was that again? New products? I think it must be new products. I think it's updated. Let's see.
Okay, check your...
yes, there we go.
Check your link, then you go directly to it.
I've got...
it's on your chat.
Oh, new link. Okay. Yeah, that's the one up here, the Switzerland presentation. It's good because we had a question whether people were to sign up with the Keshe Foundation or with the presenters of the Switzerland presentation.
No, it has to go through Keshe Foundation.
Right.
Everything goes through Keshe Foundation. It's been put up. It'll be a showcase of the technology in the West.
Quite a beautiful logo, actually, very with water in all different realms. Nice. Okay, and there's the information. Let me put the link in our chat as well, chats. That one and YouTube.
And the other products of the Keshe Foundation will be on links in next few hours. I presume they're working on it.
Okay, good.
But now this exhibition is, you see the water. There is a reason for this water, and when we get closer, we explain. This is part of the work which Keshe Foundation has been involved in 2017. In conjunction with the Italian Parliament, we work with, now we can release the knowledge partially, we work with the Prime Minister of Italy, Berlusconi, to do a research on this subject. It took 3 years to do the report, fully covered by the Italian Parliament and Italian government expenses. And in the background, we did some with knowledge seekers and some hidden to Italian Atomic Energy authorities, because it was a lot of things in the background. A couple of knowledge seekers are involved in the front, but the main backbone of this is the nuclear contamination. And now we brought this in Switzerland. It's a beautiful place for it to come out, because in most Swiss residents or citizens, and it is amazing in what will be unveiled in this presentation, not only for Europe but for North America, especially United States, is extensively involved and damaged in this structure. There are what do you call it, court cases and lawsuits in America. Then we show for the first time the solution. Representative from major independent organizations to confirm will be present. It's all getting set up. That organizations, international independent organization, even from United Nations, will be present to confirm the technology. Iranian ambassador to Switzerland is one of our guests, and it will be as part of development. It's a joint collaboration with Chinese cooperation of the Keshe Foundation, Iranian Keshe Foundation, and others. And for this respect, we have asked the Iranian ambassador to Switzerland to attend as part of the joint China-Iran collaboration of the technology. It will be very extensive, and it's all in plan. It's all going ahead, 5 months ahead, and that's why on Friday is exclusive for dignitaries and official representatives. We'll see what it will be, but you will see one of the technologies of the Keshe Foundation. Amazing. It will bring a change, and it will bring a drastic change to part of our life. Every day we live with it, and in North Europe and America extensively damaged by this. Now we have the support of the Italian government support project, what you call it, report. Our own report is getting piled up independently, and a solution and confirmation by independent organizations, international organizations, that they'll be there live testing and confirming. Thank you very much for today, and look out for the other products which will be posted up today, tomorrow by the Keshe Foundation, especially the beads. If you buy the beads, you have to write to us. It's your obligation. We have to know how beautifully your soul gets elevated, and that'll be interesting. Thank you very much for today, and we try to add to the knowledge next week more in detail. Thank you very much, Rick, and see you next week.
Okay, great. Thank you, Mr. Keshe, for another wonderful workshop here. It's been the 647th in a continuous weekly line of workshops. And today is the Thursday, June 18th, 2026 version. And thank you everyone for attending today's workshop. And we look forward to another one same time next week, so far as we know. And our next public teaching workshop, up the calendar, it will be Tuesday, the 23rd of June already. And that'll be with the One Planet, One Nation, One Race for Justice and World Peace, with members and support members of the Universal Council who put on that presentation. That will start at the 4 p.m. Central European Time, again on Tuesday, June 23rd. Okay, I've got a couple of things from Lissy from the Universal Council, so let me get those prepared here. And just bear with me a second here. Just a minute here. Okay, there we go. Finally. Share the wish. Okay, the first one here from Lissy from the Universal Council through Lissy. Please give the energy of your souls to Colombian citizens, which holds its presidential election on June 21st, to elevate their souls so that they may choose a life of peace while respecting their vital rights. Okay, thank you, Lissy. And then we have another one. Share. We, the Universal Council, invite the Keshe and Universal family present on the earth in unifying at the soul level every time, every day at 9 p.m. Central European Time. We, the
Rick,
Universal...
sorry,
Yes.
carry on, finished. And I'll tell you.
We, the Universal Council, give from our souls and invite all of humanity to elevate the soul of every leader in every nation to work as one soul in one direction to achieve peace as one nation, one planet, one race. Yes, Mr. Kesh?
Sorry, I do apologize. In the invitation of the, what do you call it, Swiss presentation, there is divided between corporations, government, and individuals. Only corporations and government officials allowed on Friday, and individuals on Saturday only. If you're a company, a corporation, and try to be on Saturday, you have to have a reason you're connected to the subject of the technology presented. And if you're a corporation, you cannot attend on Saturday because it's set up for knowledge seekers and what do you call it, different kind of presentation. And so if you look into the fine prints of the booking, you have to look at and state if you're a corporation, government, or individual. And this will, what do you call it, this gives you separate invitation and access to the exhibition.
So how would they order it? There's only one option for the 24th on the options.
No, it should be 3 options. You can have governments, officials, and what do you call corporations.
Okay, they'll have to fix that. So there's
it should be. We see it. I don't know if you want to refresh your thing, you might get it. But
oh yes, there we go.
Yeah.
So
yeah. So it's government officials and dignitaries are invited by invitation occasions if you are corporations. And we are very careful about this because different kind of information will be given different time because governments and corporations involved in this field receive sensitive information which cannot be in the hand of public. So that's why it's separated. And what you call, it's clear, we stand clearly on this ground of how we make this presentation. And part of the what you call confidential research and data will be given to the what do you call, to the officials and dignitaries because there are decisions to be made by what do you call, by governments and others in respect to what is shown. We are not there to create a panic, we are there to show a solution. And a lot of things cannot be seen by normal people or public till it's sorted in the background. And I was told that the link for the new products has been linked up as well. If you can go on it, I'll put it on your chat. You can reach that as well, which shows the beat. We are very interested to the what we call the evolution of these beats, how you respond and how it will be, and it's very important to us. You have to mention which beat you want. You want a combination, you want the sugar beat, or you want the what do you call the pain beat. This is built into the cycle of the what we call energy transfers. And then I think you have another product which is added again for the book. This is part of the same structure where we would like to know if you purchase the bead with a book, which is a butterfly. It's a book holder. Doesn't give a different effect. This is for us. The butterfly and the bead are connected to each other, and we have a reason for it. It's another part of the development of the technology. Does it give you the same sense? Do you read the book, or do you get the essence of the book in the dimension of the soul when you carry the bead? The bead connects to the butterfly. And it's very interesting to see how these things develop. You will see this coming up. Is a new cycle of presentation. In the next few weeks, we announce a new, I think you most probably get a butterfly later on. We announce a new sessions of monthly sessions of the Keshe Foundation. We are still waiting for our team to finish the last one, but this is a different technological development. We're going to announce with a limited number of people, maximum 30 per session, where we take you through the whole dimensions of the new technology, in the dimensions of we want to actually feed you. We want you to eat an apple. We want to tell us what taste apple is. We compare to the apple we have with us, which we put in. Is it a golden delicious apple? Is it a red apple? Do you taste the banana? And we need live interaction. Everyone who is on the session has to tell us what they feel. We are not looking, oh yes, we do. If you don't, we have to adjust the tune that you feel the same, so we keep everybody fed. This is part of the space technology development which comes on, and what we learn from this adds to our system in ONNs. It will be a 3 to 5 session, and it's very extensive interactive. It's not like before you sat there and get the things done. This we transmit, you tell us, we adjust. The ones who felt it, tasted before, now they don't taste it, the other two do. It gives us to learn the spectrum of the transmission of the cosmic rays for the product. So we announce this in the next few weeks, and very, very limited. And we want knowledge seekers who actually give us the information inside, because a lot of you just come in the session and go away. Till we don't catch you in the session, we keep on changing in the session, live interaction. And we don't want many people, but at the same time, hopefully our system is set up that you cannot hear each other, that you can influence each other's decision or thoughts. You don't say, oh, I taste up, oh, he tastes up, better say I taste too. This is coming up. Those sessions will be extremely valuable to us. Extremely valuable to us for our next session of development of the ONN transmissions and what you call energy transfers. Thank you very much. And sorry about that jumping in. It's just that we, the background, they received information that our company wants to join, and they had to put that up, that they see there's a separation between the two. Thank you very much, and see you next week.
Great, thanks for the additional information, Mr. Keshe. That's great, thank you. All right. Shared back here. All right, well, I think on that note, it will complete our 647th Knowledge Seekers Workshop here. Again, thank you everybody for attending and participating. Thanks for all the great questions, and we'll see you next time around. We'll go out with our usual flight enhancement spaceship unit, and you all have a great day wherever you are. Bye for now.